Hello and welcome back to K&F Design. If you're new here, my name is Katie. Make sure you head down below for links to all the things I'm about to show you, as well as to give me a thumbs up and a subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Today I have another kind of bonus video for you. We'll do some crafting today as well, but today I'm going to show you craft supplies I got from Temu. So I'm going to show you what worked, what didn't, and maybe give you some ideas and some stuff that you might want to get. It's a lot cheaper, which is nice for us crafters because craft supplies can get very expensive. I'll start off here with Cricut Mats. I tested the pink fabric ones, the blue light grip, and the green standard. I love them all. For the price, I think it ends up being about like $2 a mat, which if you've bought Cricut Mats, you know that is a great deal for them. And I think they work just as well as the Cricut Mats. They seem just as thick, the same quality. I'm very happy with these. My fabric mats, I usually use them to cut felt, which if you've ever cut felt, it leaves so many little tiny pieces behind. So if you just put the felt directly on your mat, you'll go through mats really quickly. But at $2, that's not too bad. Before I found out the Temu mats, I was using the Cricut one, and I would use a Dollar Tree shelf liner. You can also use transfer tape as well. And I would put the sticky side up and then put my my felt on top of that, and then I would run it through my Cricut, which would cut this sheet here, and so then I would do a couple cuts and then spend about 20 minutes just peeling it all back, but it did save my mat. Now that I can get them for $2, I might just forget the transfer tape, put my felt directly on it. Once it gets used, I'll just pull out another one. If I use old mats, I can still use them for, like, this was the back side. Once it's all been used, I might do painting on it so I don't get my desk dirty with the paint. I want to try some stamping stuff, so these old mats might be really good for stamping and stuff. I'll do the stamping stuff later. I also got these little tiny felt balls, which will be perfect for my felt flower centers. I actually originally bought these in my cat one, and it was a little cat toy and it had a little gun and you shot the little balls, but I love the colors that I kept most of them. So then my kittens lost theirs. They love them, absolutely love them. They carry them around in their mouth and have a heyday with them. But since I kept all their colors, I decided to get another pack of the replacement balls. And so any colors I don't like from here will go to the kittens. And any ones that I like, which is going to be most of them, I will keep for making my felt flowers or other craft projects. So highly recommend those. They're nice quality too. I also picked up a trimmer so it'll round the edges, so if I'm making curds or something like that and I want the ends to be rounded, which I think this will be handy here because, like I said, I think I want to try to get into some curd making stuff, so we'll see about that. I might use that more, and it does work well. I've already tested it. If you use resin, these little cups are fantastic. It's silicone, so once your resin is dry, you can just bend it and peel off the extra resin. They're super cheap, but if you do anything with resin, or even if you just want to fill it with water to mix your paint brushes or anything like that, they're really nice. Speaking of Cricut stuff, I got some of the replacement blades. It's supposed to come with 3 different colors. I didn't get the yellow one, and when I contacted them, they said just keep the other colors and we'll replace your order for free for these. So I actually ended up not paying for these, and I still got to keep them. So what you do is you take off this piece, and then the blade is there, and you'll put that in your Cricut fine point blade tool. Each color is supposed to be a different angle of the blade, so depending what you want to cut. I believe the yellow one was for really thin stuff, so washi tape, anything that might tear. And then I'd have to look again. One of them's just like the regular Cricut blade, and one's the deep point that I have here. I also picked up some Teflon sheets. I like to use these when I'm doing HTV, just a little extra precaution so I don't ruin my Cricut heat press. So I'll lay this down on top of my product, whatever I'm heat pressing, and that will just protect my machine. So these felt just a little bit thinner than other ones I've bought, but I've used them. They seem like they work just fine. So I also picked up some little wooden half circles that I want to use in a future craft project. So that'll be fun. And then I got, this was a lot bigger than I thought it was, and especially since it was just like pretty cheap. And it's a really nice quality, and if you can tell here, it's see-through, and then there's a screen where it's, this clear spot is a screen. It's used for, it's like a stencil, and so I'll lay that down, put the paint on it. But these ones are really nice stencils, so I'm excited for that. That was definitely worth the price. I tried out the pin pins, or what they're called. It's just this little tiny blade at the end, and actually the pin itself is really nice. I've never used one before, but this has been great with little tiny pieces of weeding. So I actually now prefer this tool here over my Cricut weeding tool when I'm doing really thin, small detail, which, if you know me, I like to do small projects, and it just make it a pain for myself. So this makes it a little bit easier. So I'll weed with this one. Kind of that same line, I bought these pens. It's one pen that has a blade kind of like these guys at the end, and I was going to use it so if a piece didn't cut out on my Cricut, I could just take this little knife and cut that little bits off. I didn't find it worked really well. Maybe I don't have the technique down. They do give you 1, 2, 3, 4 replacement blades, but it didn't work well for me, so I don't think I would recommend this one, but maybe you can give it a shot. Maybe you'll have better luck than I did. I think we're now down to the code making stuff. So I got some stamps. This is some different types of letters. And this is just a fun, it'll be cool as a background. It's cursive letters, and if you do it like a nice faded background, that might be fun. And then I did these flowers. So it has a darker flower, and then, if I'm looking at it backwards, I think it's this one. This is like the detail to that flower. So then, this one here, this is the insert to it. So it kind of will give it some cool two-tone. I'll show you what that looks like up close here. I just wish that the flowers were like right next to each other. I think, let's see. So like these two are next to each other, but these two here, they're not quite next to each other. I get it, they're trying to save space, but then it kind of makes it take a few more seconds just to find which one goes with the other one, but not a big deal. So try that out. I then also recently got a this little tool here, and you'll put your pieces in here and then twist it. I I got this one instead of the one on Temu just because the opening on the Temu ones were really small. So I went with this one because I found it on a garage sale site for cheap. And Prusa isn't quite my style, but it works. So I've been playing around with that a little bit. I tried it on, this one I got from Temu is some balloons, and it cut out really nicely. Still kind of playing around with the different plates that you put in to get the pressure just right. So I'm new to this one, but I've got it to work really well, and the Temu plates seem to work fine. I also got this happy birthday one, and this one's kind of cool because you can make a shaker card out of it, so you can put little glitter pieces inside the word birthday, so I think that'll be fun. The traditional rectangles, so that'll be nice to cut some different rectangle shapes. I'm going to show you this one here, but it's a sunflower piece. Just a bigger flower, some leaves, and some more leaves here. I'll do a quick up close so you can see those better. And then I also did some of the folders, and so they do open. You put your cardstock inside, and then with the plates, you run it through your machine. And it's going through easily because the plates aren't there, but that's kind of how that works. And it worked well. I did 2 different settings, so the big one's kind of a lighter, and then this little tiny piece, it's a lot impressed on there a lot more. So still playing around with those. I also got this really pretty flower one, and this one is a fun striped one. I thought that'd be fun with like birthday cards as a background. So with that, I think that's all of the craft stuff I got. I'm going to show you how these things work now, so we'll switch views so you can see that easier. So this is the folder, embossing folder, and so this one did just a light embossing, and then this one you can tell is embossed a lot more. I just wrote my little technique on what I need to do. So it worked really well running at Twill, and again, that's just the embossing folders from Temu are like $1 or $2 versus if you buy these, they're quite a bit more. So that was nice to know that those work. There's the striped one I got. This really pretty flower one. Here is the stamp. And it's nice that it has a couple of different alphabet fonts. So that'll be helpful. And then for the die cuts here, so that is that balloon that it cut out nicely. Even this thin tail, it cut nice. So I would say they're good ones to buy. A lot cheaper than the regular. There's the happy birthday one. The rectangles. And these all come off. You snap them off. There's a flower. There's a flower, some leaves, and then some extra pieces down here. Just a leaf. And 2 other types of leaves. So I'm going to do the sunflower one here. Got all my pieces. Do the small one first. Got a sandwich. and they cut out nicely here. Temu actually has a little tool that you can go over that I think I'm going to go ahead and get next, so it'll pop those out easily. I probably should have done the not textured side. Didn't think about that when doing it, so you could see the patterns of the leaves better. So maybe do the smooth one, just so they turn out nicer, but it cuts really well. Alright, let's try this one. I do have a magnet under there, oops, so it does kind of stick a little bit. Should have ran it one more time, but since it was a more detailed piece. But you get the idea. So that'll be like a center. Put that in the center. And this one was supposed to be one that you rolled, but I'll have to cut out that center piece here that didn't. But you get the idea. And then let's try out the stamps here. I also got this guy from Temu as well. So I put this flower here, so we'll start with this one, and then we'll do the accent piece next. So I went ahead and lined it up. So take it off to the side here and stamp it. those in the way. And then peel off the accent piece. Need to get some stamps here, so we'll try this light pink one. Alright, I think I got it all. Some of this won't be as good because of my stamps. Maybe that's what I'll try next with Temu. Oh, that turned out nice. It's really cool how it does. So, that's all of my stuff tested out from Temu, my craft supplies. Like I said, I might get that tool to help push out my die cuts better. And maybe some more stamps, because I don't really have any stamps. So look for that video in the future if I do get those. And let me know what you're interested to see me test out from Temu, what products you like and recommend as well. Thanks and happy crafting!